This video provides a brief overview of CB Premium, a web portal of predictive tools that help food companies improve food safety and quality. After you log into the CB Premium website, you will arrive in the Model section. If you need to go back to the home page, just click here. At the top left side of the page is an icon that collapses the menu bar and also brings you back to the Models page. The menu bar on the left side is where you can access all models and tools, obtain detailed information about each model, view frequently asked questions, review the disclaimer, and find an email address to contact the CB Premium team. In the center of the Models page, you can enter text to search for specific models. You can enter a single search term, such as Listeria, to see all Listeria models, or the terms corn and Listeria to further narrow your search. In the upper right corner, click on your account email address where you can manage your subscription and reset your password. Now let's look at the model interface, starting with a predictive model about the growth of Listeria monocytogenes in raw whole salmon. In nearly all CB Premium models, the interface has a three-part structure. First, in the upper right side, there is a button that provides detailed information about the model. You'll note that the information is shown in three sections: about the model, including the associated publication; specifications, that include the food matrix, the organism, and the prediction range; and an instruction section that explains how to input information and how to interpret results. The left panel contains the input variables, in this case, temperature. Temperature may be entered in Celsius or Fahrenheit. Then simply move the slider or type the temperature into the cell. Note that the upper and lower limits for temperature are shown here. In this case, the model is accurate between 0 and 15 degrees Celsius. The temperature of foods may often change during processing and storage. If you have collected this type of temperature data, which we call a dynamic temperature profile, then select the Dynamic button. After selecting hours or minutes, copy and paste your temperature profile into these cells. Alternatively, you can enter the time and temperature one value at a time. To make this easier, select the Auto Increment button and then enter the value of the time increment. Now all you need to do is enter the temperature, and the time automatically increases by the auto increment value that you entered. The Interpolate Time option is the default setting. In general, this is a fail-safe choice since the temperature of food usually changes gradually rather than immediately. If you uncheck this box, you can see that the temperature changes immediately. The prediction results are on the right side of the interface. This includes the data in a graphical representation and also in a tabular form. Data can be moved from the table by simply copying and pasting it into a spreadsheet. Now let's go back to the graph and the static version of the model. If you need to expand the time range on the x-axis, click the plus button. To reduce the range, click the negative button. Below the graph is a section that shows the growth rate and the corresponding doubling time in hours. Before examining the other outputs in this section, we need to look at additional options in the center of the page. Change the initial bacterial level by typing the value or using the slider. To determine the time to reach a critical limit, set a count limit with this feature. Now you can see that the time to reach that count is displayed below the graph. You can also see the value by moving your mouse pointer to where the limit intersects the prediction line. Similarly, a time limit, such as for shelf life, can also be assigned. This produces new information below the graph, specifically the microbial count at the time limit. As we did for the count limit, we can also locate that information on the graph using the pointer. Now, click on Initial Date and Time. Next, click on the clock. First, set the hour, selecting a value from 0 to 24. Next, set the minutes. Now, by setting a count limit, the date when the microbial count reaches the count limit is displayed below the graph. Finally, you can enter your own time and microbial count profile using the custom data selection, which also has the auto increment function that we reviewed earlier. If you scroll to the bottom of the page, you will find a link to the publication associated with this model. Below that, you can see the number of times that the model has been visited. Finally, documenting the model inputs and outputs is an important part of any food safety plan. By clicking on the print icon, you can generate a nicely formatted report that includes the graph, input and output data, custom data, and also the date time stamp located near the top of the page. This is the end of part 1. Please view part 2, the final section of the model's overview. If you have any questions, send an email to contact@cbpremium.org.